This is our town.
Welcome!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to
What's up?
What's up? No,
What's up? You know,
episode 218 of Value Town. Man, I can't believe it's 218 already. I'm
dude,
ChanmanV.
I was just looking when you sent me the notes of this show. I was like, dang, he's hit 218 already. That's insane.
I mean, that's skipping like a year and a half too in there somewhere. I could be probably at 300 right now if I didn't take that year and a half off.
Yeah, if you take the break, man. Yeah,
exactly.
man.
But yeah, it's pretty great. It's definitely the longest show I've ever had. So definitely Hearthstone community.
Testimony to your
guys
dedication.
Number one, right? You guys are number one in my heart, for sure. No, but guys, welcome to the show. ChanmanV, of course, and I have Tom Matthiesen here joining me as well, writer, journalist for Inven Global, writing your favorite Hearthstone articles, at least my favorite Hearthstone articles in the community.
Whoa.
Welcome. Welcome.
I'm just doing it for you, Chris. You know that.
Yes. My one view is like so good.
Yeah, that's all the advertisers care about as well. Is like, oh man, is that one guy reading the articles?
$10,000 for that one article, right?
Yeah.
If only life was that easy, that would be wonderful. No, but exciting news. In the last 2 weeks, man, lots have been happening. We've gotten new classic cards. I've had a new expansion announced recently, which is I can't believe it's already new expansion time. It's like that's how well they've done.
Strange,
they've bridged it really, really well because it's like, oh my god, new cards already. This is amazing. And then obviously a latest patch that has some changes and some mind-boggling changes, like I just don't understand sometimes. But
we'll get to those.
We'll talk about those, of course. And then Q&A at the end. Save your questions for us. You can either type them out in Twitch chat or you can tweet them at ValueTownGG, and we'll get to them. Or you can actually email to valuetown@chanmanv.tv, and we can get those during the week before the show.
Do you get those? Are people loyally emailing you questions?
Dude, Ahmed literally emails me once, like every single show. That's why he always gets his
I do. Yeah, his name pops up every time I am on the show. Yeah, and it's great, right? I mean, loyal viewers. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think the Value Town audiences, are the loyal folks, and that's really love these guys, and always welcome new folks, of course, but the folks that's been around for years now. You guys are amazing and awesome. So your questions come up, they're going to be asked on the show for sure. But yeah, so why don't we start off like we always do, talk about what we've been doing in terms of Hearthstone this week. Anything special? I mean, the season just ended, and any goals there from a rank or anything this time around?
No, actually, no goals. I got a little heart attack because I think it was in March or February of this year. It was the first time I had ever missed a card back since I started playing Hearthstone. A ranked card back.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
full month off then.
I'm breaking the chain. No, but I was just so busy because then I only just begun writing about. It was still Dota Auto Chess then, and there was some Hearthstone content as well I had to do in preparation for Worlds and stuff. And man, I just completely forgot to play Hearthstone that month. And then this month, I was like, oh darn, man, I'm already. It's already the end of the month. Did I get my 5 wins? But fortunately enough, I remember that at the start of the month,
wins, man. Okay.
Just 5 ranked wins, and then fortunately enough, I remembered that. At the start of June, I told myself, okay, we're going to grind these 5 games now. We're going to win them now so that you don't have to worry about it anymore and you're not going to miss another card back. So,
yeah, I mean, I haven't quite been that busy here, I guess, to the point where I haven't played, but I feel you for sure.
It's also been just, I don't know, man. Maybe this expansion just doesn't hasn't hit me yet in terms of decks that are available, like viable to play. I like big mage at the beginning, like the mana cyclone mage and the giant mage.
Yeah.
But Mech Hunter, which is by far the best deck, I
Mhm.
I don't like playing it at all. So it's I kind of
I
just wandered off, did some other stuff. But this week though, I started playing again because I got a new I got a new druid hero. And
Oh yeah.
I obviously got new cards as well to play with, which we're getting to later. But so yeah, I did play. I played some wacky decks that nobody plays, and I failed miserably, but I had fun, so it was good.
That's good. That's for sure good. Yeah, I mean, me. So this, at least this last season, maybe even the last 2 seasons, to be honest, I just have not played. I've played very, very little except for Control Shaman. I just keep playing Control Shaman, and
Really, with the Shutterwalk or with the
not with Shutterwalk actually. I mean, Shutterwalk's one of those cards I cut just because it just didn't end up really producing that much for me in the end. But surprisingly, it does pretty well. Like I think I have like a 68 to 70% win percentage with it.
Really?
I haven't gotten to
Wow.
legend. I haven't been. I never had time to like get to the point where I could, really grind all the way up to legend. But I get to like, rank 5, rank 4, rank, around there. With it, just playing back up from wherever I am. But,
Exactly.
But I've gotten to the point where I really understand the hunter matchup now super well. I still lose the warriors just will have more value than I do.
Yeah.
But against aggro, which is pretty popular with token druid and Murloc shamans and like those type of things, and just I still call rogue just generally mid range kind of aggro-y. If you can just beat those 3, you're gonna have a good winning percentage. You're gonna be able to climb. Just purely on beating those. So it's been fun doing that. I definitely still struggle against again warriors. Some of the mech paladins can catch you sometimes if you don't have the right cards, but.
And the snowball, right? Yeah.
But this shaman, I feel like is
nice, dude.
really
Yeah.
nice. Like right now,
When I saw the what was it? I think the buff to Thunderhead. One of the first decks I wanted to try again was the aggro shaman with overload, and basically you play Doomhammer and you rockbiter your own face and you smack face.
Yeah.
Just one time I've been able to have a Doomhammer equipped, play Electro Storm Surge and double rockbiter my face.
Right.
And then just
wow.
smack
Okay.
4. I don't know how much it was, but it was a lot. So yeah.
No, that's yeah. I don't think I play Doom. I don't play Doomhammer, but I definitely do play
in Control Shaman. You don't play Doomhammer, no.
Yeah, for sure. But no, I really like where Shaman is right now. Even though it's not like the most powerful thing, it's cool that you can play Murloc Shaman, right? And you have this like crazy aggro, and then all of a sudden I think it's the second best control deck in the game, or control class in the game. Just a warrior, just purely because of Dr. Boom, to be honest.
Yeah, Dr. Boom's insane, and even with Haggadah, you're not generating that value, I assume, because you're not able to produce resources that reliably.
Yeah, I mean Haggadah actually feels fair, where Dr. Boom doesn't.
Exactly.
Feel that fair. Yeah. So I get a lot of junk. I get like equal amounts of junk as I do good stuff from Haggadah. So.
But
anyways, been a lot of fun. I can post the deck like later on, maybe on the Patreon or something, so if you guys are wondering what it is. But I've probably talked about it in the previous show, so it's not. Well, it's been tweaked. Like I took out Shutterwalk, took out some things that I felt like just weren't really, like Acolyte of Pain. So some things that just because I played just so many games, I realized that these cards weren't really producing for me. So but it's great. Like I really enjoy playing a deck like hundreds of times, so that I really like know the matchups, and then I can say, okay, this deck is not good, versus playing like I mean, whether it's good or it's not good. You know what I mean?
Conclusion.
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm talking about decks that are like they appear to be like 50%, 52% for you when you're first playing it, but then the more and more you play it, you can like maybe get it all the way up to like 60.
All right.
You know, like if you're
All
just
right.
really good.
Because I just imagined you sitting there taking a beating for 300 games and like
You'd be surprised, man. I've done stupid stuff like
winning
that.
20 games, and you're like, yeah, this is probably not good.
No, I've done that. I've done that with Wind Fury decks, man, where I just like, get my butt kicked over and over and just stubborn that no, this deck has potential. It does.
It's gotta work, man.
And it's like, okay, rank 20. Yes, I'm winning at rank 20.
Yeah.
I know. That doesn't happen too often.
Oh,
it does happen
man.
sometimes. No, but so anyways, yeah, that's what I've been pretty much doing. And then, so it's definitely a good week. But, you know, I think one of the big things that happened, which was, you know, we talked about it last episode, which was like, oh my God, they're changing, you know, they're changing cards, you know, like they're buffing cards, they're changing classic cards. It's just like, wow, what is this? You know, this is amazing, you know, and one of the things that they finally released was just the new classic cards, or at least, you know, announced them in the developer's insight. And wanted to take a look at that right now and, you know, really talk about
the content flow has been nothing short of amazing.
Yes, no question.
It's absolutely insane. How they do it, I don't know. And how long beforehand this was planned, no idea. Whether they will be able to keep this up beats me, but
I mean, it sounds like it is now. It sounds like, I mean, for me, it sounds like, I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but it just sounds like new blood got in, you know, and you know, we're able to like have some of these things that we've been talking about, you know, we would like to see them do for a long time. So
I mean, as much as people love Ben Brode and Hamilton Chu and the Young Woo, and you know, like we all love them. You've met them, I've met them.
Of course.
They are some of the most wonderful people I've ever met. But it's true, like the Team 5 works 1 year ahead of schedule, approximately. Those guys left approximately 1 year ago, and we're seeing the change of content now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's change of content, like the bridging of content, you know, like just everything, just across the board. It's just been good. You know, like they're willing to you know, make changes, and I mean, it's not even risks. You know, it's like they're willing to take risks. It's not even risks. They're just willing to finally just be a bit more dynamic, and I think that's been huge.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I figured we would talk about these cards. Kind of, you know, there's 10 in total, and
let's
spread across the classes. So we got Plaguebringer here. It's a 4-mana 3/3 battlecry. Give a friendly minion poisons. And by the way, guys, a lot of these classic changes do have a lot to do with how they define the classes, right? They pretty much said that they wanted the classes to have their own identities, and they even just like defined them. Like they just like showed you exactly what they wanted from each class. Some of them were just like, they've got cards right now that totally go against some of those, you know.
Totally go against it. But you know, for example, Shaman should be weak at generating resources, and then we have Hagatha, we have Kragwa, we have the Murloc.
That was the biggest culprit,
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Warrior too. Like if Dr. Boom, that one card, Dr. Boom, literally is counter to the weak, you know, the weakness and whatever. You know, the other things.
Yeah. Oh well.
So,
it's right.
But generally it makes sense.
The classes were well defined and fit within the scope of cards that we've seen.
Yeah. So Plaguebringer, you know, kind of interesting. I mean, I think with lackeys being sticky 1/4 and things like that, this could be you know, maybe. I don't think it's going to be something that people play at the you know, the most refined decks, but you know, like beginner type of players are very, very limited with their cards. I think this could be pretty good.
Yeah. I think like these cards just, you know, the basic set teaches players the mechanics, right? And this is just an exemplary card of what Rogue does. It's like, okay, give something poisonous maybe and kill something. Okay. Yeah. It's very basic. Yeah, same with the Radiance. Yeah.
Well, Radiance is a clear direction that you will not be able to OTK anymore with Priest. No more Shadow Priest ever. Like
because Vanish and Mind Blast got banned to the Shadow Realm of Hall of Fame, man.
And this is hero only, so it's like it's, you know, those days are over. No more.
It's at first I was I will talk about when we've had them all. I will talk a bit about my view on these cards, but I was a bit sad about Mindless leaving. I still am, because I think it was just a curveball. Like you could just all of a sudden burst somebody down with Mind Blast, and it was fun, right? And when it was an oppressive strategy with Velen and a mass resurrection and stuff, yeah, maybe it wasn't that fun. But I thought just Mind Blast, maybe picking it off randomly generated cards like Discover Mechanics. Picking a Mind Blast could be cool because you could like, oh man, I'm switching strategy. I'm going face now. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think it gave a dynamic. I mean, there's give and take, right? There's give and take. You either do have identity with the classes, and
right.
that means that these classes will be limited, right? They can't be necessarily like aggro and control and like all these different things, or you do have a place where the flavor of the classes just aren't as big of a deal. It's just like more theme than anything else. So clearly they're going that prior direction. But Mind Blast, and this kind of leads to like some of the art stuff that we're going to talk about later. It's like it just for folks that've been here from the beginning, it just feels like you're losing some of that. Like
right.
It isn't one of those things where the new cards are different, but the old cards are still there, and you have that little token of being somebody who was there in the beginning, and you still have that card, right? Now when they change old cards, it does feel a little bit like But that comes along with trying to balance, right? I mean, that's the nature of the digital game. So it's a mixed feeling for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a warlock here. Siegebreaker, 7 mana, 5/8 demon taunt. Your other demons have 1 attack. Kind of interesting. The fact that it's taunt, I think it was what makes it interesting.
Exactly. I think it's it's not a bad main. It's okay-ish, right? It's like you're not gonna play this in any specific strategy at the moment, but yeah, maybe if demons become a thing, this guy can actually tank some damage. It's let's see. What was Bog Creeper? Was a 7 mana 6/9? I think.
Bog Creeper?
No. Yeah.
Oh, Bog Creeper 6/8. Is a 6/8.
6/8. Okay.
6/8,
yeah. 7 mana 6/8.
Yeah.
Doesn't give demons a buff, so yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think this card is. It's like if there's a card that fills the board with imps, like 1/1 imps, like Implosion, or what any of those cards. This is a great card to play after that, right? Like you can.
Wasn't it like Reform Scheme or something?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, we do have cards that definitely do that right now. So if you can play it afterwards, you can remove or you can just hit face. So this card is actually fringe being playable, in my opinion. If there's an aggro demon warlock, like Zoo Warlock or something like that, this could be like a Bloodlust, or of some sort, or not Bloodlust, but like, I don't know, Savage Roar, like a mini Savage Roar or something,
it's like nowadays you sometimes have the Timberwolf, right, in Hunters, in the Beast Hunters, that the few of those that are still around, so maybe.
It's kind of, for a classic card, pretty interesting.
Definitely okay, yeah.
Druid, Gift of the Wild, 8 mana, common, give your minion, +2/+2 taunt. When is this? Yeah. I mean, any card that's 8, like when has this ever been good? It's like never.
8 and +2/+2 and taunts. I know taunts like okay, but
you still have to
compare this to Spreading Plague, right?
Yeah. You have to have 4 minions on the board for this to even be worthwhile.
Exactly.
Like, that is one hell of a condition.
It's
that's a win more card if I've ever seen.
It's a classic card. That's what we're gonna say. It's a classic card, right?
Yeah. 5 mana Righteousness. This is a Paladin card. It's a rare. Give your minions Divine Shield. This is pretty interesting. Like I think 5 is too high for it, but I don't know. My thoughts of Blood Knight and. This type of run through my head, like the dumb combos, of course. But I don't know. 5 seems very, very high for me.
I mean, you had the Maul, right? The Purifier's Maul, which always was the best weapon to get from unidentified Maul. Gives your minions straight up Divine Shield, which is a 3 mana 2/2 weapon that gave all your minions Divine Shield. And comparing this to this, maybe if one day the Silver Hand strategy becomes something again, just flood your board with 1/1s, but I don't know, man. Maybe in Wild where you have Baku, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, this is crazy conditional. I mean, you have to have a lot of minions, so you have to play a deck that does that, and then secondly, I don't know. Like maybe if there's some kind of divine shieldish type of thing, type of build later that's aggro as well. But yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like sounds like a throwaway card. Let's see. Okay, so we got some neutral cards here. 7 mana Baron, Stable Hand, Epic, Battle Cry, Summon a random beast. I think this card's actually interesting because you can build a deck around to make this actually possibly viable. Oh no, it's a random beast. I keep thinking, dude, this is the second time.
It's not a friendly beast.
It's the second time I've done that. Like, yeah, the random beast is definitely a lot more of a.
Yeah, I get a 7 mana 5/5 with the Stone Tusk Boar. Yeah, it's no.
Yeah,
no.
It's no. It's no. Even though I want it to be good, I want it.
I don't get why this is an epic at all, but whatever, Blizzard, it's your call.
This looks like a druid card. This is like your classic druid beast card that they would typically make, but they made this one neutral actually.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one we got is actually a new SI7. That's not a rogue card. It's a neutral card, 4 mana, 5/4, so good stats. It's an SI7 Infiltrator, and then it's rare. Battlecry, destroy a random enemy secret. This card will be used.
This card 100%. Is gonna be used. 100%
will be used. Yeah. Yes. So at some point, maybe not like even now it would be used. I mean, with the hunter secrets and mage.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. This is like I don't know if you've seen Kibler's video on the new classic cards, but he said he was mildly annoyed that he couldn't just say SI7 and refer to the 3/3 rogue card anymore, because now people are like, which SI7 isn't it? And
True.
Now you have to say SI7 Infiltrator and SI7 Agent.
It's true. I mean, they could have picked, why did they pick that, right? Like, they could have literally, they probably have like 1,000 names for cards that have not been used.
Just bump it by one. Name it SI8. It's fine. It's nobody cares.
Why not just call it Infiltrator and just drop the SI? Like, is it really that necessary?
Yeah. No, it's, but I definitely agree with you. This, for now, the developers have been playing around, okay, how should we tech against cards this cycle, like this year of expansions? And it was like, we've had Kazan Mystic, we've had Eater of Secrets, we've had, like all these things. And this is just, okay, here you go. Here's a way to tech against secrets. Enjoy, and we don't have to think about it anymore. It's, I can, this is of all the cards that have been released in this classic filler, basically, of like filling up the holes left by cards. This is the card design I agree most with.
Yeah, I do too. And it's not like Eater of Secrets. Eater of Secrets ate all the secrets. This one's actually just one, so it's not completely devastating.
No, but I mean, like those were cards that could be included as tech cards against potential secret strategies, right? So yeah.
With Grandmaster the way it is too, like these cards are really good for that type of format.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I definitely like it too. The last one is 8 mana Arcane Devour, and that's not a mage card. Rare, and whenever you cast a spell, gain +2/+2 on this card. So it's an 8 mana 5/5 elemental. So it sounds like if you cast it twice it'll be worthwhile.
Right, double Arcane Missiles. You have a 10 mana 9/9.
Or coin something. I mean, there's a lot of cheap mage spells, so it's probably not that hard.
There's rogue stuff, but
the Ray of Frost too. Ray of Frost is like the go-to cheap spell right now.
Yeah,
everybody uses it.
But I still think if you're gonna play cheap spells and buff something with it, you're gonna do it with Questing Adventure, which is a 3 mana 2/2, and it gets +1/+1, so it doesn't get as big as quickly as this one. But it's available early game, and late game you can still pop off and generate something big. So
yeah,
I think this is not going to see play.
No, I don't think it'll see play. It's interesting though. I still think it's interesting. Maybe if it was like a 6/6, I think it would be more interesting. Still wouldn't be play. Just generally anything for 8 mana.
8 mana is man. You need immediate impact on the board with 8 mana.
Nobody wants anything that's conditional with 8 mana.
No.
I mean, has there been a single card ever that's been considered good that's conditional? I don't think so. Right?
On 8 mana, no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
There's so many cards, man.
But the fact that we can't think of one is probably indicative of that. There's
Conditional
not.
8-mana. Nah, it's
they're all immediate value. Battle cries or whatever it is. But
or an easy to trigger death rattle. It's like even like something like Hadronox. It was a 9-mana 3/7, but we had naturalized with cubes, with everything to recycle it. So
I mean, Hydronox, that was a great card actually.
Oh man.
I mean, as bad as the whole Taunt Druid was, it was designed well because it was a battle cry, like you said. I mean, sorry, it was a death rattle, like you said.
It was just too many. That cycle was just too many easy ways to trigger death rattles with the cubes and neutralized. We had dark decks, we had everything.
White Witching Hour, but by itself though, I did still like that.
By itself, the card was amazing, and boy, did I play Taunt Druid.
Yeah, I did too. I played Taunt Druid when it wasn't a thing, and it was like in the very beginning, like the very unrefined one, and it was so fun. It was like crazy fun. Brightwing. Okay, so we got some more neutral cards here. 3-mana. 3/2 dragon, Brightwing. This is a legendary. So Battlecry, add a random legendary minion to your hand. Pretty lame. but it's not bad value, but it's just like, okay, I mean, are we really gonna do this?
Well, I know it's a card. It's a tech card for control decks that want more value, I guess.
There's a lot of crappy legendaries that you're potentially drawing, and
I know, but
this is a legendary too. Like, I would not want to get this as a legendary.
Wasn't there like this? You had the Face Collector in Rogue, right? 3-mana 2/2 with Echo that does this. The same thing, right?
3-mana 2/2. That exactly right.
Face Collector.
That's way better. That's way better.
I think so, because it had Echo, right? You could play. The thing is just
question.
Rogue.
Yeah.
Rogue wasn't ever looking for late game value, but it's
still. I mean, it's still considerably better than this. It's basically 3 cards. That other card. So
I think though, like something like, because Toki Time Tinkerer also was able to summon wild legendaries and add them to your hand, and she was played in like heavy value mage. She saw some play, wasn't top tier, but I don't know. With Brightwing is neutral, so I can see it like being a tech card. Definitely not something you include automatically, but
West. I know he was just kind of joking. He does mention it is a dragon. That is one element of it that's a little bit different. That he's a dragon.
Yeah,
but
and you know the welcome bundle, right? Which gives you like 10 packs for $10, and also gives you one of the random legendary dragons, which were Alexstrasza, Malagos, Ysera. Brightwing is going to be one of those dragons.
Oh God!
Yeah,
not one of the best ones to get. I would rather get
as I said, I think it's like a tech card and whatever. Yeah, the animation is really cool though.
Yeah. Oh, is it? I haven't seen it yet. Is it a tongue?
Oh,
a tongue coming out?
Man, you follow me on Twitter, right? Yeah, no, I tweeted, but I immediately went
like look on Twitter like 24/7, like most people do. So
yeah, oh man, step up your game, man. Those are rookie numbers. No, so I immediately went in game and recorded both of these guys' animations, and they're pretty cool. Yeah, they're sparkly. So
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Last one here, 7-mana, 6/8, High Inquisitor, white mane, also a legend. This one's cool. Battle cry, summon all friendly minions that died this turn. So it's got, it's got that N'Zoth feel to it, right? Like or
KTC.
Kel'Thuzad. Yeah, Kel'Thuzad more so than so yeah. I mean, it's not as good, obviously.
No.
But it's still pretty cool. It's a battle cry, like it's not
right.
Not like every turn. But
I think there's I think overall definitely Kel'Thuzad is the more powerful one of the two, because you could stick it behind 2 big taunt minions and it wouldn't die. your opponent would just be stuck there. But in something like cases with charge minions, rush minions, I guess this is maybe better because you can immediately rush them in again or attack with them again. Overall, it's nice value, I guess. Could definitely with some supports like be very good. Obviously, when you have like strong death rattle minions that you can run in and kill and then immediately resummon again or something. But it needs quite a bit of support because it's a 7 mana. It's a 6/8. It's not good. instead. So
yeah, it's I don't know. Like I think that in a mid-range deck, like I mean, I'm trying to hard. It's kind of hard to find one right this second. But maybe even like a rogue deck, like right now, right? Like those rogue minions are generally weak, right? And they're not ones that you know they don't have anything where you're gonna buff them all at once either, you know. So it generally chips away at you. And rogues a lot of times will find their like when they're playing anti-rogue decks, there come a situation where it's like a giant taunt or something where you know they're just not able to get there, right? And or they need to remove something and really crash everything into it. So I don't know. I actually see this card being played in maybe a few legit high level decks.
okay, yeah, okay,
I think that in a mid range deck, this deck could really work. Just as a you know just another second wind, you know, type of thing to trying to finish somebody. But it is expensive, to your point. You know, it is conditional too. But I think that, you know, even if you just get one guy back, it's actually worth it. You know, like it's
get your Tyrion back, man.
yeah, exactly, right. Like you know, if one of your 8 mana, 9 mana, 10 mana minions are hurt, you know, and you feel more free to just trade it in, and then you know get it right back. So yeah, it's an interesting card. I really like how they designed this card. It's much better than Kevazad was. Like,
I agree. Yeah. So like, there's something I still wanted to say, like overall about all these cards that are being added, because and I wrote a column about it. Like it was just something I pieced together, and I just let my mind flow a bit. It was more like me rambling a bit than than actually like my most well constructed pieces. But I looked at those cards, and initially I thought, man, these cards, they're not going to make a huge impact on the meta, right? They're not going to change anything. And then I thought, okay, it's good they're not going to change anything, because these should just be, you know, generic classic fillers. And if they're going to have an impact now, they're going to have an impact probably for a long time, right? If they're good enough to make an impact for and then I thought, man, these cards are not boring enough, because I'm
wow. Okay.
Yeah, because I am actually, and it as I was writing the article, I came to the conclusions, like, I really am in favor of a rotating classic set, right? And the more cards you have in classic that can do something exciting, a Brightwing can be something exciting, White Mane can be something exciting. I can even see like some of the class, not the druid one, but the class cards doing something in the future, right? And I'm like, is that something that Blizzard should want from these cards that they are adding to the classic set now? Because classic's been a problem for so long. And we keep rotating cards to the Hall of Fame. We keep nerfing cards. And as I said, I'm in favor of rotating classic sets, because, like, come on, man. Like, there's this true classic set, which I think is a true classic set, and those are the unplayable cards. Goldshire Footman, Magma Rager, those cards. Even like a Boulderfist Ogre. You know, it's.
I play Magma Rager like every other game, I feel like, because I keep getting that dang card every time I play my 2/2 that summons a, you know, or draws an elemental.
Yeah. Oh well. No, but I mean, like, so I think those cards are like a true classic set, and it would be fine to keep those classes around. But any card that's going to be above that power level, I think, which has a potential of being a played card over a longer period of time than it's just regular rotation. I think I think that design shouldn't want that at the time anymore, because we've seen so many times how often it goes wrong, and that's why I thought, like, man, these cards are not boring enough, because these cards could, like a Brightwing, as I said, what I think, and you, like, we have to see if it actually turns out that way. I think it could be a permanent tech card for value matchups, right? Where you're just gonna say, okay, I'm in a competitive Hearthstone game, and if Specialist is around at that time, please let it not be. But if Specialist or any other sideboard format is around, then a card like Brightwing, we can see that now for the coming 5 years or something as a tech card, and that's gonna get boring, because then it's just gonna be repeatedly like, which Brightwing rolls the best mean or something. And I think Yeah.
I mean, an evergreen set will always have that potential, danger, right? Where it's just like these cards are so good and they're just going to be around forever. Like they're going to be around every single year. It doesn't matter, right? With the whole rotation. But I mean, the good news is that they are Hall of Faming stuff, so they are changing the classic, set to some degree.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I was before I was like very very pro, rotating classic set as well. It's just, they've obviously they put a stake in the ground by defining the identities now, and I think that because that stake is in the ground, that classic rotation will not happen. Like so, I think the best we'll get is retiring cards and adding these new cards, which. That's probably second best anyways, like having at least some
I don't know. Yeah, it's as you said, right, in the beginning, it's like they had two paths to choose, basically. Unfortunately, Fendril Staghelm was not on the board, and they went one of them. And it's yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Nice. Or the new hero power, right? Yeah.
Oh, the new quest. Yeah, we're gonna get to that soon. Yeah.
Exactly.
But no, it's I don't think it's a decision I would have made. Obviously, they have much more experience in design, but I just think that decks that all of a sudden, like, the community compiled and made of a batch of cards, like in an expansion, and were completely a different archetype than what you expect from a class. I think those kind of experimentations were fun, right? Because I had fun with Shadow Priest, with Rasa Priest, with my favorite deck of all time. It's Malagos Warlock. It was like at best a B tier deck at its best, but I had so much fun with it, and it's something that goes against the strength, goes against the weaknesses Warlock should have according to the now stated design philosophies. But I think it might be limiting and maybe even get boring when, as time goes by, all Priest is getting is new ways to heal itself. Right, and only those made, but we'll see how it pans out.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, why don't we talk about the new expansion? That's obviously the other huge news, and the new expansions. We're entering into the card reveal stage now. Saviors of Uldum is the name of it, and the biggest thing I think that comes out of it is that we've got the return of the League of Explorers, right?
Yes.
They hinted at it with a couple, these trailers where like he opens the box and it's like the theme of the League of Explorers. But now we finally get the full out trailer, which I promised Tom that we would play the trailer.
Yes. I told Chris that I would not be on the show if we were not playing this trailer.
We have to play the trailer now. Okay, so we're gonna have to. Let me see if I can center this a little better. Let me see. Let me move this over a little. Oh man, this trailer is so classic. It's so good, man.
It's so good.
Yeah. So here's the. Let me make sure it's not too loud too. Here we go. Dude, the sky. The first part is like one of the best parts for me.
Yes.
Just this rotating sky is such an '80s thing.
Wait, can you hear the sound, or can the viewers hear it?
Oh, they can hear it. I guess you can.
Okay.
You're gonna have to play it alongside of it. This is one of the best. This is one of the best trailers. Like,
oh man,
it just shows you what they can do with low production. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be crazy.
It's so good. It's like, I think I let my roommate listen to this, right? And when the intro started, and I think so many people had the same response. It was like, I need a hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. I love that little Van Damme split there. Like at the end.
Oh man, it's so good. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh man,
It's
serious
so
Hearthstone.
groovy, it's so funky. It's everything.
Exactly. It's definitely the song. At least is the best song so far in all of the Hearthstone. Videos and everything. They also had an actual announcement trailer that revealed some cards too, which we'll talk about in a second. But
with Adija Chamberlain.
Yeah.
The FX designer on Hearthstone. Yeah. So she does most of the fancy effects on cards. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So definitely check that out. So the expansion is going to be released on August 6th. And the whole theme of Saviors of Uldum is obviously the League of Explorers are coming to save Dalaran. And
which has been stolen and flown away with rockets.
Yeah, flown away with the rockets with $1 in heist, or just the dollar. just the League of Evil. So
Yeah.
where they go with this rocket, I think is going to be interesting. The League of Explorers are obviously here to save the day. So we'll see how that plays out. Obviously, when the new solo adventure comes out, but 135 new cards. New keyword Reborn, which we'll see, in some of the new cards. And this Reborn, but it doesn't say this on the card, but it means this minion returns to life with 1 health the first time it dies. So it resurrects with 1 health, and then and then you can do something with it again. So pretty interesting. I guess I don't know. It kind of takes a little bit away from the priest value of just being the resurrect class.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You also have what was it, Ancestral Spirit in Shaman, right? Which does basically this. Yeah. It's just 2
what would happen? Yeah, what would happen if you Ancestral Spirited and on the Reborn before he died?
Oh man,
I wonder
there's
if they
so
would
many.
cancel. Yeah, I wonder if the Reborn just
I was wondering something, right? Does the resurrected minion count as a new minion? Because here's the thing I'm thinking.
Right.
When you rush it into something and then rush it into something again, we have this new minion, the 4-mana 3/2, I think, that has rush and can rush into something, gets reborn, and then rushes into something again. Mm-hmm. If you play the priest card, the 2-mana card, resurrect, can you get them both? Like, are both of an option? Like, is it an option that you get the 3-mana 3/2 with reborn still attached, so it can deal 6 damage again?
Oh, you know what I think happens now that we're talking about it? I think what happens is that so you put an Ancestral Spirit on it. It rushes, it goes and dies. So the original one comes back because of Ancestral Spirit, but then you have the Reborn one at 3/1, right?
Right.
So anyways, that's how it works, actually.
I think, but what I'm saying is, like, in the, like, you have the priest card, the 2-mana card, resurrect, right?
Right.
Yeah, and if you play that after you've rushed this into a minion twice, so both versions have died, the full health one and the one. So is it possible that you get the 3-mana, the 3/1 as well as the 3/2
that
with
would be bad, right?
And again, I have no idea, man.
This is a warrior card, right? So we're not talking necessarily about this card. It's just in case there is another card.
The mechanic, right? Yeah. What happens? Yeah. So
I
tweeted at Peter Whalen. He hasn't responded yet, but
I
maybe.
would guess that it is another card. Because it does come back without rush, right? Or without reborn.
Well, the thing is, in the video where they're showing this card, I slowed it down, right, on YouTube to 0.25 speed.
Yeah.
And when they hover over the second coming of this card, basically, the card itself also reads rush and reborn.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't have the blue aura, right? But it reads the same thing. So
reborn is like
it's not like Twit Spell. It's just
it's just like an action, basically. Oh, if that's the case, then then it would be just this original card. Maybe they did it on purpose. Maybe they did it that way because
I'm sure there's consistency in it, but it's a bit it's a bit confusing, I think, the way it works now. Obviously, 3 months from now we'll be like, of course it works like this. It's
right. No, always tricky. Just giving out all the different kind of mechanics that can overlap each other. But yeah. So we have Reborn. We've got Plagues, which I don't know if we've seen a plague yet, but plagues are spells of ancient power wielded by priest, shaman, warrior, warlock, and rogue. So only specific to those 5 classes. And then we've got the return of quest cards, which that's drawn up a lot of discussion because there's clearly very, very mixed feelings about quest cards, whether they were good or bad the first time around. And I think by the end of it, a lot of people weren't necessarily fans of the quest card, particularly the rogue quest. I think that was a very problematic card.
I think a lot of good players were very much fan of the Rogue Quest, and a lot of bad players were not fan of the Rogue Quest when they faced players who were good with the Rogue Quest.
There you go. Yeah. So, we'll definitely get a chance to see some examples of what the quest. It's definitely toned down. No question that the quest and the rewards. I don't know if the quests themselves are toned down, but the rewards are toned down so that it's not just game winning if you just reach the quest. In some ways. Like the rogue one was for a lot of people. Okay, so you get a login bonus. You get that free legendary quest card. Which is great. As long as you log in during this expansion period,
Basically,
you'll
yeah.
yeah. It says a new arena rotation too. So basic, classic, League of Explorers,
Exciting, yeah.
Ngoro, KNC, and Ratsakan Rumble, and then Saviors of Uldum. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
But here are the cards that they also revealed during that video.
Woo,
And
cards!
yeah, new cards. These are first cards. Some interesting ones too. First one being a Questing Explorer, rare, 2 mana, 2/3, solid stats. If you control a quest, draw a card. That's pretty dang good. If you're
It's exactly what those decks need, right?
Exactly. So obviously you're going to be playing the quest on turn 1, right? If you have the quest, I think quests are still 1 mana, right?
And you always that's the thing with quests, right? You basically basically what is it?
You automatically get it, right? Like in the beginning.
Yeah. But what it is oh man, my English. Come on, not now. You basically already know that you're giving up one resource in your hand because you're gonna play the quest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're giving up one card. You know you're gonna give up one card, and this mitigates that in a way.
Oh, you're talking about your starting. You're
starting end. You already know that you're gonna lose one resource compared to your opponent when you play quest deck. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so this is I mean, I think this card's gonna be an autoplay in almost every quest card. Any card that draws a card at 2 and has solid stats is almost an autoplay. All right, next card we got here. This is memes are back, baby. It's 10 mana. It's a mage spell, epic puzzle box of Yogg-Saron, and if you guys are thinking Yogg-Saron, you're thinking right, because it's cast 10 random spells, targets chosen randomly. It's crazy. Yeah. That is crazy.
Unfortunately, it cannot cast itself. Unfortunately,
that sucks, man. That would have been awesome.
That would be amazing if it just can cast itself and just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is I like. It's fun, right?
No question.
It's fun. It might actually be good again, like Yogg-Saron was, because Yogg-Saron
you
turned
actually
out to
think
be...
this is gonna be good? No, I don't think so.
You can listen. You can Yogg-Saron only got turned into a bad card because it could target itself, right? And when it would target itself and kill itself, the spell casting would end. This is just gonna cast 10 random spells, right?
I mean, but Yogg-Saron casted spells that you casted, right? So
that's fair.
I mean, random spells, dude. I mean, this is like Circle of Healing.
Yogg-Saron cast random spells for each spell you cast this game.
Oh, was it just random? Was it just all random?
Yeah, it was definitely random.
I'm remembering Yogg-Saron.
Yeah. It was definitely
purely random spells. Oh, okay,
it put Shadow Word Death itself and Twisting Nether, and so yeah.
Oh, okay, you're right.
10 mana is a lot, though.
Yeah, so it can maybe it could have similar effect. Like you said, before it was because Yogg-Saron would just stop casting, right? So, maybe you're right about it being viable, and it's not even a legendary too. It's an epic.
No.
Wow.
I do like that they made it a box, so it's literally dice shaped, but it's.
I don't know if they intended it. That analogy.
No, my mind's drifting. Never mind. Next card.
All right, next card. Priest. Man, they just never stop with the full removals for Priest. So in case there was ever a possibility for you to leave a minion on the board. And Psychic Scream was basically that, right? Psychic Scream threw everything off of the board. Right?
Yeah, it was like, okay, go, goodbye.
But this time, we don't want to just put it in your deck. We want to kill it, okay? And like the best way to kill it,
destroy it,
silence it, and then destroy everything, right?
Yeah.
So now you can, for 9 mana, and it's epic too. You can run 2 of them. You can silence and destroy all minions with Plague of Death. So is this playable? Good?
Is it good? Yes. Is it going to be playable? That's a different question, I think, because it's very meta-dependent.
It's all minions too, right? It's not just your opponent's base.
No. It's just not your opponent's. Yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to the animation of this because I just look forward to seeing a sinkhole being created on the board and like all the.
That's true. That is pretty awesome.
Oh man, that would be.
What is this thing here? This almost looks like a face. It's not a
It's
fish,
a hyena, man.
Oh, it's a hyena. Okay, it looks like a guy's face. It's like they put an emote on here. Like it looks like a guy's face. Like
Kappa, like.
Kappa. Yeah, no.
I think it's fun. Like obviously, Priest is in a very bad place at the moment, but who knows? Yeah.
Yeah.
If it gets control-y. Priest has always been able to use control guns very well. We had Shadow Reaper Endwind destroying things. We've had Light Bomb. We've had Holy Nova. We have had Psychic Scream, Spirit Lash. It's
definitely the removal class. So at least having the strongest removal.
Very well identified class. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a 1/1 Jar Dealer. It's a common Death Rattle. Add a random 1 cost miniature to your hand. It's okay. Yeah, it's kind of similar to a lot of different things nowadays. Yeah. Just with blackies and just Death Rattle mechs and stuff. Mm-hmm. We got this is a cool card. 2 mana, 0/2 Totem, Evil Totem. At the end
it's just evil Totem, man. It's a
just
piece of wood that's just evil.
yeah, and it gives you these slaves like they put in your hand,
standing there menacingly and
exactly. So it's a 0/2 Totem, definitely not one that's supposed to fight. But at the end of the turn, you add a lackey to your hand. So
I think it's good, man.
I think so. Yeah, like I don't know.
We had the
0/2 is definitely super small. Like it kind of feels like it's worse than a spirit in some ways. But
true, yeah. But I think like we had the 2 mana 0/3 that summon a 1/1 Murloc at the end of the turn, right? You know which one I mean.
Yeah. But that's better than this.
Lackeys are good cards.
They are.
Lackeys are really good cards.
They are.
So yeah, it's easily removed, so I can. Yeah, you're definitely right about that. It's very easily removed. You need like 2 triggers of this to be valuable, right? 1 trigger is like
Yeah,
but it's better than pressing Shaman Hero Power on 2, I guess. So
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when I think about it more, it's like, is this really good? But there's definitely something that excites me about it because, like you said, lackeys are super good. Lackey battle cries are amazing. So like you're kind of prepaying for that lackey, but now that like Flame Tongue Totem is bad or isn't as good, it's harder to play these type of totems that are 0 attack. So
definitely. Yeah,
we'll have to see if there's any buffs. Yeah, if there's any kind of buffs or totems and stuff like that, maybe this could definitely be playable. But interesting card regardless. Oh, we talked about Restless Mummy. This is the 4 mana 3/2 warrior that has Russian Reborn.
Yeah, think of it as a 4 mana deals 6 damage, I guess, like a fireball-ish kind of guy.
Type of thing. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Or just like remove just anything with 3 health or less, and then
still have something on the board. Yeah.
So pretty. I think it's a pretty solid card. It's not. I don't know if it's broken. I think because it's not broken, it's like I don't know how. Warrior kind of needs a broken mid-range minion to break this control cycle.
Well, they have Militia Commander, which is broken, which is it's a really broken card.
Yeah.
4 mana 5/5 when it's really good.
Yeah, it does. I still think it needs another one. As crazy as it sounds. Yeah. I mean, we're talking like breaking the cycle of every single war playing.
Yeah. Well, you got to do something pretty fancy if you're gonna outvalue Dr. Boom, right? So it's that's gonna be tough. But I think Restless Mummy is just a really good example of what Reborn is gonna do and how it can be fun, right? Yeah. I think it's a very simple introduction to the mechanic, and yeah,
for sure.
Sure.
There's got to be better versions of this. It'll be interesting if there's actually one with Divine Shield. That would just be disgusting.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, crazy disgusting. Okay, so now we get a chance to look at some of the new class quests and like just examples of it. And, when I first looked at this, I was like, why are these both like mage hero powers because of the blue? But then I was like, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one, right?
Even worse, when I just glanced over the cards, I thought the Warlock one had the colors of Rogue, so I thought it was a Rogue quest, and the Druid one was a Paladin one.
Same thing too.
I thought the Druid one was a Paladin one. I was like, but how does Druid how does Paladin have one effects? And then it like, oh man, you absolute
idiot. Yeah. I know, my eyes were playing tricks on me too, but yeah. So we basically have 2 quests that they showed. They showed a Warlock quest and a Druid quest, And I mean, the Druid one, dude, this is so bro. I mean, a lot of people confuse this. Like, this looks a lot like a rogue card. You know, like it's you have to really, because the brown doesn't look like it's the typical brown from a Druid. But anyways, regardless of that, they was talking about the Warlock quest. The quests are still 1 mana, like we were talking about before. It's they're a legendary still. Warlock one is Supreme Archaeology. Draw 20 cards. Okay, so that's a lot of cards.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, and then you get the Tome of Origination, which I don't know if does it just that immediately just changes your hero power, right? Basically, what happens. So you change your hero power, and then the hero power now is draw a card. It costs 0. So free card every
if control work is a thing with maybe Archivist Elysiana or something, I don't know. Could be like drawing a card and make it free. It's really good, obviously, but drawing 20 cards, man. I don't think you're gonna build a deck around that very easily, unless you're doing something with Nomi, right? Like Priest is doing. But we'll see. This is obviously something they're gonna give more cards for to support this quest. So it's too early to judge whether this or not is a viable thing. It's just not on like something I would easily see being very good. So
yeah. Oh, Gocher's asking, did I turn off the sub alerts? I did turn them off on this page because it was creating this weird box that was, I don't know, something wasn't working right with it, so I turned it off for now. But hopefully you enjoy those sub witches in the meantime. Yeah, I kind of agree with your notions of your opinions on that as well. Yeah, so nothing too like crazy again. Like I think that it would be great. We've seen this kind of thing before. We've seen draw cards for 0 and
Wheel-Fed Fizzlebang.
Right. And it's just like, it's okay. This was obviously more permanent whenever it happens. But God, 20 cards is a lot, dude.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, like, what kind of cards get you there quick? I mean,
Solarium is a very good one. Draws 3 for 1. Yeah.
It's still not a ton. It's like,
yeah.
So I mean, hero power, you're gonna kill yourself hero powering every turn. So, you know what I mean? Like that's like So 20 cards is pretty rough. The next one's really interesting too. So the Druid one is untapped potential. Quest end 4 turns with any unspent mana. Whew. Yeah. So the reward is an Osirian tier.
Yeah.
And this is passive hero power. Your choose 1 cards have both effects combined. That's kind of what we were talking about Fandral earlier. So you obviously have to build around that. Build in these choose 1 cards. But some of them are just like so. And like, dude, to have unspent mana in the first 4 turns, that's brutal, dude. Like that is like really tough. I mean,
listen. So floating mana is bad, right? It's really bad to float mana in Hearthstone, where everything is like you have to establish board either early or have the mechanics to take back the board. And druids shouldn't be one of the classes that's able to easily take back the board. They should be able to generate a big board themselves and leverage that to a victory. So floating mana for them is riskier than it is for other classes, but this reward, this hero power, is so insanely good. It's so good. Like we remember Fandral, right? You just play it and you just play Nourish. You play on 9 mana, you play Fandral, Nourish, and it would completely swing the game in your favor most of the time because it does so much. And then you have this, and you have it permanently. You have Nourishes, you have Wraths, there's going to be more cards that are actually good that support it. You have Ancient of War, Chris. Yeah. Ancient of War.
Ancient of War, oh my god, yeah. Ancient of War returning, holy crap, that would be crazy.
We have War Druid Loti.
Yep.
That's insane. It's a 3 mana 4/6 with Rush and Taunt, I think.
You have to imagine they're going to add like 2 or 3 to this expansion too.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Like I think
I think this hero power is broken, absolutely broken.
It is, but man, any 4 turns, I'm telling you, like one of the weaknesses of Druid, and they define it this way, is removing large boards. Like they're not giving druids any way of doing that. So, to have to, in terms of unspent mana, those are, I mean, naturally you do have miss turns, right? Like you typically have just some turns where you just miss.
Yeah.
You miss curve, right? And
but you have to do it deliberately.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You have
I think
to
you
play.
would. Yeah. I think you would have that issue if you're building a deck that has a lot of choose ones. You're probably not going to have a very, very linear curved deck, and you'll have some gaps, and maybe that's just kind of like how you get there. Like you have to play some cards. Like in the meantime, you can't just skip 4 straight turns. Like you have to like play cards maybe every other turn, or 2 out of 3 turns.
So
like
I wonder how this is going to work with Innervate, but if you just innervate and pass.
Yeah, creating temporary mana. I think that would work. I think
so, because the crystal disappears at the end of your turn, right? But you already end your turn with floating mana, so it should work, I think.
I think so too, because it's like you're spending how does that mana work anyways? Would you spend the Innervate crystal first anyways? If you were to spend any mana? I think that's how it works, right? So,
it does. Yeah.
So it's probably any kind of mana anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ghostrix mentioned. Oh, yeah. I mean, you do lose the original hero power as well. So
it's
any
not
means of healing or whatever. Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. Which the Druid hero power is pretty strong. So, interesting card. I think this has potential, like you said, to be extremely powerful. And I mean, the choose one cards were designed that way, like for a reason. So this is basically
right. So you only get one of them.
Yeah. So this is a clear reward. I mean, crazy reward. And we'll have to see how untapped potential works.
What do you think of the league being assigned classes, like Elise being a druid? And do you think, because I saw a small discussion about that, like who?
I don't think they needed to, but it's interesting. I mean, it's a way to sell portraits, right? Like so.
No, but I mean, like with each of the league, like Reno is the mage, is a mage in this expansion, and it's not because
that doesn't make any sense. Like Reno being a mage is just weird to me.
Yeah, but it's I think it's clarified on either Reddit or Twitter, or because it's like Reno doesn't really have a class, but for this expansion they decided to make him a mage, and it's because, and this is the best reason ever. Because for this expansion, he's carrying around a gun of wands he found. So he literally is carrying around. You see it here. It's like a Gatling gun of wands. And I'm looking forward to his card because he's going to do something with like casting random things. I don't know.
I mean, think, how is Bran
he's a
warrior? And how, like, I don't know.
He's the hunter
and
Finley is the paladin.
Like, I feel like Reno should be probably a hunter, and
I thought of him as a paladin because he heals a lot,
Or paladin, paladin could work. Finley, I mean, come on.
Whatever. He's like
Murloc. I mean, he's a Murloc. You know he should be. Like, this is like crazy.
Yeah.
So he should be a shaman, like of some sort, right?
Yeah.
So
well, what I liked a lot about, obviously they've changed the design philosophy on it, like not giving every class a potential strong legendary by making them neutral. They've moved away from that strategy, but I think the League of Explorers' effects in the expansion itself were really cool. Like they really fit being a neutral card with Sir Finley. They each had a strong mechanic, but not abusable by every class. It's just really very specific build around mechanics. But if they have different ideas for the cards effects this time around, maybe it's wiser to make them class specific. I don't know. We'll see. So
definitely excited. I mean, these cards look pretty cool. So far, I think
definitely,
the theme, League of Explorers,
it's very cool. Yeah.
League of Explorers definitely thematically was one of the most successful ones, I believe.
Man, it was so good. Yeah. I love the expansion so much. Also, one of the best songs. It's so
exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. So I mean, I think that League of Explorers was like the start of all that. It was the first expansion that was non-WoW related, and just broadened the creative breadth of what Hearthstone is. So
they created their own universe, and obviously they introduced the Discover mechanic, which is just which was very well received. So
Okay, so anyways, really excited about the expansion. Can't wait. I mean, obviously more. We're gonna have a ton of cards, I'm sure, to talk about the next show. But you know, the bundles I think were announced as well. So I think there's a bundle for 80 and a bundle for 50 again. It's pretty similar. You know, you get the portrait.
Same.
You get the portrait with it as well, and
80 for 80 with golden legendary and portrait. Yeah.
Portrait as well. So nothing new too new there, but it was already good in the first place. Okay, well, why don't we talk about next the latest patch? Which, you know, came out yesterday, I believe, right? It was very, very recent.
Monday, so 2 days ago, I think. I don't know.
So this patch had some balance changes to the dollar and heist, and you know, just some.
I think some cards were effects were changed. Something like Cleave can now also be cast when there's only 1 minion on board, which is very good.
Actually, Forked Lightning too, and Dark Bargain as well. So that's actually a big deal because there's many times where I'm like, dang it, I wish I could cast Forked Lightning.
Why can I not cast this? Exactly. Yeah,
it drives me crazy. So I think that's pretty cool. You can no longer play. Oh, was annoying too. Dreamwake Guardian and Reform Scheme, if your board is full, like I don't know why you should play that.
Nice,
yeah, that's kind of dumb. Let's see, Shrink Ray Inequality. Yeah, so Shrink Ray is more consistent with Tarum. That makes sense.
Hunting Party.
I think most of these were just.
Okay. Yeah.
Most of them are still fairly.
Pilfer's change is potentially impactful for Rogue because if you're going to make Burgle Rogue and you face a Rogue versus Rogue, then Pilfer is going to be
it's going to be kind of crazy actually. So that's a pretty big change too. So anyways, take a look at those. You can definitely see those in the notes, but I think the patch also had this whole bundle that we were talking about. I think the new Paladin Brawl is going to be coming out, but okay, biggest discussion from this patch, and believe it or not, I mean, and it's kind of a big deal in my opinion too. Believe it or not.
Oh, the Tavern Ball, makes sense. It should have been
changes. Like you know, we thought, okay, Janna, you know, changing that, it's gonna be the end of it, right? You know, cover cleavage, it's over, right? Like no more changes, right? They went and changed like 8 more cards here, you know, and it's just like, are we serious here? Like. And I don't have the original cards next to each other, so you're gonna have to like kind of remember in your head. But Eviscerate, they took out the little blood dots. I mean, you know, the little tiny as the blood dots they took away, and all these changes are like trying to make Hearthstone G-rated or something. You know, like.
Well, the developers have issued an official response. I think it was Dave Kozak who talked to PC Gamer, and he said like. It's not about us making any PG rating or making it China friendly or whatever. It's just the card art that we're not sure about and we wanted to change, and we did this now and maybe we want to change it more in the future, change more cards in the future. But the thing is, Chris, I'm so indifferent about this. Like, some of the art that they've updated, I think looks worse than, not as cool as the card that was originally there. Like Deadly Shot, I think Deadly Shot had some of the craziest art. It was so cool.
It was my favorite portrait.
It's so game. Like, and now favorite. This is just some generic arrow, but let's be like a Wind Fury Harpy. I don't care about her art. I didn't care before. I didn't care now. And I think like I just really can you scroll up a bit, because sure. I think I don't know, man. I think like the Queen of Pain, for example, which was previously Mistress of Pain, right? I think this art is actually cooler than Mistress of Pain. But you know, I'm so indifferent, and so many people are actually genuinely upset that they changed this. I think it's a bummer about Deadly Shot. Other cards, I'm like, I like this art a bit more, but I just really don't care about it.
You know, it's like, I mean, so normally I wouldn't care so much either, but I do care because it's kind of like what we were talking about with Mind Blast. You know, like.
Okay.
It's one thing to just have a more modern version of the thing, and like all new players of Hearthstone get this from now on, but the people who have the original one still have it. And them saying that they wanted to change the art. This is where I'm not sure. Like, I completely believe them 100%. That's not
okay.
like
Yeah,
a PG
sure.
thing,
I
right?
mean, it's still a company doing PR, so it's very very possible.
So this is
thinking.
where the reason why I don't 100% believe it is just because like you said, some of the art was just better. Like, just generally, I think it was just better than what it is now. Like they changed Fellstalker, like Succubus to Fellstalker. I mean, that's like a complete change, right? Like into that. Queen of Pain, same thing, right? Quap's in another game. I mean, like there's even confusion, maybe like from the fact that this isn't another game.
This isn't Dota and Honor Lords.
Yeah. So it's like, kind of questionable decision. This is like a little bit cooler, but along the same lines. Same with Secret Keeper. So, the fact that I think some of those changes, like I don't believe that. I mean, I think the things that they took away were clearly like potentially violent things, or sexy things,
Right.
and things that do fall into that. So, the fact that they said that was worse artwork, I just don't believe that. Like and it gets me a little bit because again, it's like, I feel like it's nice to have some tokens that you were one of the original people playing the game. And I think it would have been a nice, if it was purely an art thing, it would have been a nice touch to just have the new people get these new cards and have the old people still have the old cards. And you can still play them. They still work the same. Like you could actually just had like new cards, that had the same stats. And then you just kind of remove, whatever, or you just have these just don't show up in packs anymore, whatever, right? And I think that would have been a nice touch, like we've seen with whether it's like items in WoW, that later on got, or items in EverQuest, like I used to have, that ended up disappearing, but the people that had it originally kept it, like we always had it, and they used to be valuable because of that.
Well, something I'm thinking of now is maybe give players the option to choose which one they want to see in game, and then it's not just the card version they play has that and has that art, but also if the opponent play. But for each player themselves, it's the art they prefer. If you're gonna make changes like this, and
but
I agree with you. Like these changes, like I might be indifferent about all of them, but they are clearly. There's clearly just like I don't want to call it censorship, but it's curating, right? It's curating the images, and if you're gonna do that, at least you have to take into account that some of the players are really attached to the images as they were, and you are denying them the opportunity basically to enjoy the game in a way that they want to. And if people are care about it a lot, which again I really don't, but you can give them the opportunity that if you make card art changes, that maybe just even you can check it in your options, like which card art do you prefer? It's like, I don't know, child friendly or not child friendly. I don't know, for something like that. It's
I'm just surprised because like these images definitely have a very similar, outside of this, right? Because this is like an original thing, but yeah, these all have similar qualities to them, right? They might have been drawn by the same person, or the artist might be the same person or whatnot, but that's never been the case though. Like other expansions have had multiple artists, and you could see like crazy differences in the art between the cards, and that's kind of what gave the cards their identity as well. And if it has nothing to do with like this whole just this whole toning it down for children, then like it makes even less sense to me as to why you would change it. Because
no, I totally agree with that. Yeah, if it's not for that, what is it for, right? Maybe like you can argue that some of the
there's different dots
women.
Are you serious? Sure. Like the dots here are gone.
I know. I mean, as I said, I the art itself, sure, whatever. But for people, I'm just arguing for the people who do care about it, that you could have been a bit more sensitive towards them. I also think that maybe they took into account that some of these women were portrayed like in a like female unfriendly manner. That I don't know, maybe
like this is like, okay, what's the difference? This is still the same in that category, in my opinion.
Okay, but the original Secret Keeper Chris is literally just showing her ass, and just it's like
all right, I give you that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean maybe, right? I'm just theorizing that what might be another reason for them to make this change. That like, okay, let's we can still have women in scarcely dressed, but maybe not as provocatively positioned or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, I'm looking at the original. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to pull up the original just to kind of remember.
Sure.
Like,
Sure. Show it on stream, Chris. Give us the goods.
I mean, it's. I mean, I can't believe we're doing this, but I mean, there's a dress. There's a dress over it, right? Or is that not? Maybe that's not. Maybe that's actually her.
No, I mean, like it's.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely insinuates that it is her butt. So, okay, I give you that one. All right. But again, that one, like if you just said you're trying to make it, more PG friendly or whatever, then okay, you know what I mean? That's fine too. But at the same time, it's like, don't say like those were questionable. I mean, those are questionable because they were probably not, because of PG reasons, right? Or offensive reasons. But yeah, so I don't know. I think the ones where it's like sexual, I can kind of understand because they did it with Janna, and I just generally understand. But the violent ones, I think that's the ones that are just like, oh man, really? Like Deadly Shot was totally violent, right? Like
first of all, what I love most about like the community's response has been, as you said, it's been a heated debate for some people, right? I know like some people like me just really don't care, and it was like, sure, whatever. I can see how people might not like it. I can see how people like the changes, whatever. Some people are very strongly against these card changes, art changes being made, and other people are like, yeah, this is good. We need to be more inclusive. Sure, whatever. But amid all of that heated chaos and just like bandwagon, whatever, the best response has been just on Reddit, people memeing with other cards and making mock-ups, like giving Jaraxxus a Hello Kitty t-shirt. It's like, I regardless of your stance, that's just objectively funny. That's just funny. And that's just people just turning Misha into a teddy bear. It's
I gotta
like
find some. Like, there's definitely something on that today.
There's some gems in there, man. And it just and that's what I like. Like, don't be so serious about it. It's a game. It's like it's just art in a game. Just remember your feelings are okay if you feel that these cards should have not been changed. Those are legitimate feelings, but don't people are literally insulting each other and picking fights about this. Like, come on.
Here's a good one. Here's a really
Show
good
it.
one. Oh god. Oh man. Okay. All right.
Oh man. Wasn't it like
it's Winnie the Pooh portrait for people that are listening. It's a Winnie the Pooh portrait for Ironfur Grizzly.
Yeah, and I think the post also mentions that they should do this for China, right? Because the obvious ban on any Winnie the Pooh image in China. So
yeah. So I mean, I guess it's it's hard to say too much about this, but the violent ones, again, like this one seems so crazy, and I'm just disappointed about Deadly Shot. That's the biggest one for me, just because I've always thought that image was like an incredible picture.
Yeah, the original Deadly Shot was amazing.
Yeah,
I really loved
like busting through the Tauren.
Yeah,
like,
man, he was just like absolutely just being destroyed by that arrow, and he was like, you could see the agony on its face, you could feel the power in the art, and it's a shame, man.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if there are more on the way, given that we've had two art nerfs.
Yeah,
we actually have art nerfs now that we'll probably see some more too.
Yeah, and the thing is, what's so strange to me is because obviously people are now. The people who hated these card art changes are immediately saying like, oh, why wasn't this card changed? Oh, why wasn't this card changed? Right? Like, and that's something I agree with them with. It's like, if you're gonna do this, make it one change. So people are like, okay, this is our new direction now. Because now it's like Blizzard has said, Dave Kozak said to PC Gamer, we might make more changes in the future. like, wait, but Whirlwind shows boobs and blood. It's like, why wouldn't
Does it
you?
really? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you change that card as well immediately? Because now people are like, hey, if you're gonna make changes which are obviously following some kind of trend, right? Then why aren't you picking up on all the other cards as well? But
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. That's kind of crazy how the community responds to certain, and just I guess Blizzard making that decision isn't really so so surprising. It's just yeah, I don't know why it catches me by surprise like that it's happening.
Yeah.
I guess the nerfs in the past really hadn't had to do with violence. They were all sexual for the most part, like female sexuality kind of things. So I think the violent ones were just kind of like, oh, I know violence is a big issue too for children as well, but it's just like nowadays, I mean, shoot, what they show on TV is like worse than like some of these cards. So it's like,
I don't know, man. Yeah, the thing is, what I can see though is like an argument of like, okay, you want to make your game, maybe you want to make your game more approachable, but there's that, your objective is like killing minions, and you're still like, there's heroes that shout things like, I will be your death and stuff, and Garrow says, I will crush you or something. Are you gonna change that to I will hug you or whatever is that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
it could be a slippery slope if they really went down this. I don't think that's gonna happen, but yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I don't
anyways.
care. I just play for the fun cards and effects and play wacky decks. It's
yeah. I mean, this just I think this just continues or just accentuates that it's a digital game. Like we always talk about digital game and changing and balancing. Well, this is another element of it too. Like the cards themselves, can change, and there's no legacy element to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just purely about how the game plays now, and how it looks now, versus before. So, yeah, that's just how it is, and I'm sure it's going to continue. So, got to get used to it, and that's fine. Okay, well, anyways, let's do some Q&A and give us I want to give a shout out to just the patrons, the folks that are the main supporters for Value Town and have been forever now, and just want to spend a little time just to give a shout out to a few of them. So Raydan, Bryce L, Blake T, Jackpot 777, Feldy Fox, Old Man Riv, Johnson C, Sasha G, Jeff B, La Adder Noir, Alex G. Thank you so much, guys. Just to name a few. If you didn't hear your name, you'll hear them in the coming weeks, I promise. And
or you didn't hear your name because you didn't donate, and you absolutely should.
There you go. He said it. I didn't say it. No, I'm just kidding.
No. I'm free advertisement, Chris. It's fine.
I appreciate it. Now go to patreon.com/ValueTown if you do enjoy the show and want to contribute. All right. So viewer Q&A. Ask your questions in Twitch chat if you got them. We've got a question from our regular Ahmeden. He asks, is TFT Hearthstone's strongest competition yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you actually think it's direct competition?
I actually think it's direct competition. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Hearthstone, when it came into the game genre, it broke everything, right? It was like, damn, all of a sudden there's a card game that people are playing massively. It broke shooters, MOBAs, whatever, right? It broke everything. And auto battlers, Dota auto chess was the ramp leading up to this. Mm-hmm. And I'm so glad that I latched onto something that's going to be probably huge, because I love seeing the development of it. But yeah, Teamfight Tactics, whether Teamfight Tactics, Dota Underlords, or Auto Chess, actually created by Drodo Studio, right? The original creator of the mod in Dota. It's a direct competitor for Hearthstone, because we've spoken about it before when we were supposed to talk about Hearthstone on this podcast.
Don't remind them, please.
Yeah. Those games are card games essentially, because you're building a lineup, right? You have to mitigate your RNG, your positioning. You have no it's very much a card game. And it has a lot of similarities to it. There's some RNG aspects to it. There's definitely some deep levels of strategy behind them, and it's also the thing with these games is it's so very easy to rotate content with them, because you can build a lineup of 100 champions in total, or heroes, right? Like, and just keep rotating which one you offer, which one you cycle in and out. And yeah, this is definitely, because this is also like Hearthstone was. This is a whole new game genre, basically being swallowed up by the masses, right? Everybody's gonna play this because League has a massive player base. Dota has a huge player base. It's a trend. This is a direct competitor for Hearthstone, and we'll see how it pans out. If both maybe eventually exist alongside each other, if one's gonna take over the other again, maybe this genre is just a hype, a short fad which dies out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question of whether it's a competitor or not, it's pretty clear it's a competitor, just purely because it's the streamers that used to stream Hearthstone are streaming
absolutely,
TFT now.
yeah.
I mean, it's not even a question there. I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Toast just doesn't stream Hearthstone anymore. Like now that he's hitting some record numbers with TFT.
Dude, have you seen how much he has grown over the years in terms of, like, I remember 2 years ago, he was at 20,000 followers on Twitter. He has almost 200,000. What?
Where you been? I mean, he's been. I
know he's been doing a lot of like smart stuff in growing his audience, right? And he's been streaming League and stuff, but I had no idea until just like a month ago that he has grown to almost 200,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, he just hit the 1 million mark on Twitch. So
yeah, insane.
Yeah. I mean, I think Toast has done a good job of
building a brand, right?
Yeah, and like the offline, joining offline, and just being always being open to other games as well. So
yeah,
I think TFT, like it is for Hafu as well, it's just been like possibly a tipping point for them, right? Like just an added whatever launch point for them to get to the next level.
Well, and I'm so glad about Hafu, finding her place. Like, she posted a bit about it, right? Like being officially recognized by Riot as the best player in the game. I'm just glad for her, because I think everybody in Hearthstone and in gaming, like people who follow her and actually know her, we knew like she's great at these strategy games, right? She's actually very good, but there's always these trolls who are just talking her down and whatever because she wasn't Crip or she wasn't whatever. And
let's just be honest, she's a girl. Like that's why people were talking her down.
Exactly. There's just some misogynistic trolls, and come on, dude, she's actually amazing. And I have to be honest, like I didn't watch her Hearthstone streams much because I don't play Arena and I'm not attracted to that game mode at all. But also I think in her Hearthstone streams, I don't know, in some way I didn't like it. Maybe she wasn't enjoying the game anymore. But this, I can actually, I love watching her play TFT. It's very fun. It's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, with Hafu, Hafu's she's a good friend. So I've known her for a long time, and I've had conversations with her, even just early days about all this stuff too, and I think the thing about Hafu is like she's always been she's just good at video games. She's very, very good at video. She's been a champion at Bloodline Champions, and people don't know that. She's actually been, she's actually committed to a game, she actually can be one of the best at the game. And so she's one of those people who would just not stop playing until they're good, and that's the sign of people who win. It's insane. Yeah, so it's like the thing for me is like I've always held hope, and I even talked to her about it at one point, but it's just one of those things there. It has to line up with what their passion is, and I've always held hope that she would have been a competitive Hearthstone player, in standard, and just potentially won an event, like really, really made huge splashes from that standpoint, and just the whole this whole female in esports like type of thing, and because it really takes somebody to transcend that. And
exactly.
There's not a lot of people that fit that the actual attributes that can achieve that. And Hafu is actually one of the few people that I see in esports that can do that. Like can actually be the best at the game that they are playing. and it doesn't matter what it is, like, you know, like, but just a at least highly visible game. And you know, she's one of those people, and I think that you know, her being number one and being recognized for that in TFT, just with the very first rankings coming out, is something that she said, you know, she wished that Blizzard would have done the same, and we all did. Like everybody that played the arena wanted the rankings to come out for years, like 2 years, and it just didn't come out. Like, no, they would not show the rankings, and nobody understood why. Like, there was no reason to show who the top ranked players are. I can't think of anything.
Yeah, you know, and so, by the time they did, like, a lot of players had moved on.
Yeah, they had moved on. We're talking like, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. It was like 3 years after. I'm like, it was years after.
It was years.
Yeah,
it was years.
Yeah. And you know, Arena was, you know, we had some of the best players playing Arena. You know, like we had Crip and Trump and you know, I mean, Hafu above that if you want to actually talk about, you know, actual rankings. But
yeah,
you know, like we had all these people who were very, very, like, just the biggest personalities in the space playing Arena, and we just didn't have that. Moz too, right? Like, so it was just very, very confusing as to why they didn't do that. And I think that, you know, that took a lot away, you know, from these Arena specialists, right? And it really rubs people, I think, rubbed people the wrong way, even still today. You know, like she was definitely emotional when she was talking about that on the stream, you know, just you know, which, you know, shows you that it's a definitely deep rooted pain, you know, that just the kind of thing she had to go through. So I'm happy for her. Like, I'm super happy for her. I'm happy that, you know, people are recognizing, or at least the league space is recognizing, you know, like, kind of seeing her from a fresh
they're like, league is definitely,
you know, like that.
Like Riot is doing a very clever job of using these streamers and players flocking in from all other types of genres, and, you know, interacting with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the question about, so first off, I think Blizzard should make one too. Like, I think it's just,
it's
like
gonna come in 5 years, and it's gonna be don't worry,
come in 5 months. Okay, like, it should not be that hard to make those games. Like,
it shouldn't be,
it
but
really shouldn't be,
you know,
hard.
It should, you know, we've seen Heroes of the Storm, which came 4 years after MOBAs were settled.
They were trying new stuff. Like, don't even try new stuff. Just make exactly what they're doing with your IPs. I'm serious. Like, just copy them.
I absolutely think they could make.
Yeah, and just come out call that Blizzard All Stars.
Yeah, and it's gonna be on phones, and
dude, that's what Activision's specializing in, anyways. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that, first off, I think Blizzard should make one, because I think it would, you know, like, the whole Blizzard audience would, in player base, would totally play that. I think the biggest question for you know, these whole auto battlers is whether they will actually be people's primary game. Like, I'm starting to think that people are just going to have, you know, instead of being like a primary streamer, everybody's starting to become a multiple game streamer now. You know, like, they have side games, and overall, I think it's good for streamers to be able to do that and diverse and stay sane. But I'm thinking like this auto battler thing is just going to be everybody's kind of side game. You know, like they just
I don't know.
A little bit.
Yeah, it could be, like, it depends on, like, this is the very early stage, right? This is such a very early stage of the genre, and as I said first, like, I think these games are so easy to keep and to keep entertaining for players, because you can do so much with content, right? Like, even like you can rotate heroes and champions and whatever. You can change the shape of the board. It's so wide, the variety of options you have.
Those are like, minor, though. You know, like, I would say, compared to, you know, like, adding a lot of complexity to the game. Like, what's beautiful about the game right now is it's simple. You know, like,
it's approachable, right?
Yeah, super approachable. There is a level of skill ceiling to it, and, you know, has that random element, you know, random feel to it, that where you know, you're okay with, like, finishing second or third.
You have some spice, right? Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant from the standpoint of being you know, like, playing the game, because it allows you to, like, finish third and still be happy, you know, like, and that sort of thing. But you know, from an esports standpoint, that's a bad thing. Like, we want definitive winners, you know, like, we want to know that this person is the best by just watching this one event, not watching like the whole season, you know, like, seeing what the point totals look like the whole season, you know, like. So I think that it's got the same kind of issue with, like, battle royales. I mean, it's like you just have a problem seeing so many different vantage points and watching that. But as
Well,
a game,
yeah, it's the thing, right? It's going to be interesting to see how competitive side, if at all, it develops. Yeah, we'll see. I think, obviously nowadays every game that gets popular is automatically people are going to make it an esport and whatever, and it just there's got to be
esport,
it's got to be natural growth, right? There's got to be natural growth. So if that develops and in a healthy, natural way and it gets support, like sure, and I mean Hearthstone had the potential to grow to a real big esport, and well, Blizzard fumbled, and now we're in this situation. I'm not gonna start another half-hour monologue about that, but
for sure.
And I think like Hearthstone had the same thing. Like it's difficult in a card game to find a definitive winner, right? But through certain systems and through making competitive format very optimal, like optimizing them to their fullest, it's possible. And if auto chess games can do that, then perhaps who knows. I'm excited to join the ride and see where it goes, right?
Yeah, for sure. No question. It's here to it's sticking around. It's just really in what capacity will it will. Okay, so moving on. Oh, actually, looking in the chat, was Javi getting maybe ignored? No, Javi was getting hate like early on. I mean, it's if you went to her stream and looked, it was because it was heavily modded, and you just didn't see much, but there's no question. Like she got a lot of it in the beginning.
A lot of crap.
Yeah. Max Carnage asks on Twitter, "Hey, Chanman, I was listening to the episode where you and Tom were." You guys were talking about HS Masters and Specialists. I really think that Grandmasters would be way better if GM had to compete in all levels of Hearthstone. Play Last Hero, Conquest, and Specialist. So I just have kind of like a gauntlet, I guess, of different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's skill in adapting to different formats. We know that DICE initially, when Hearthstone switched from Last Hero Standing to Conquest, DICE struggled a lot to adapt to Conquest, which may sound weird because for viewers maybe that they sound very similar, 5-deck format with the ban, but it's there's a lot to it, and DICE struggled with it a lot. So yeah, it could be, but I think it's difficult, right, to explain to your viewers that each week, for example, is going to have a different format. That's just really it's you need consistency in a league, so your viewers are not going to get confused. And I think within a league, within one format, you need the one that promotes competitiveness the best. And I really don't think that's Specialist, but hopefully, they said they were going to review Specialist after
they're not going to change it, dude. They're not. Yeah. I mean, I think that they've had. They've had the better end of the spectrum when it comes, or at least the meta has been not bad for Specialists. I don't think Specialists has looked bad.
It's not been horrible.
Yeah,
but it's been. Yeah.
But because it's not looked horrible, I think that's the reason why I don't think they're going to change it.
I think they might make some tweaks, not overhaul it, but tweak it. Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, they obviously made some tweaks in the beginning, but are they going to tweak it some more? I mean, it's 5 cards now, right? So
maybe more cards. I think I saw Alex Charsky, one of the esports team guys, on Twitter today, and he said it does look like adding a ban. So basically, you could ban one of the decks, adds a lot of skill, right? They acknowledge that it adds a lot of skill to picking and banning. What it also does, however, is increase tournament time. And they said on average, adding a pick and ban phase over the course of a whole tournament, it would add 1 hour to the tournament, and tournaments are already pretty long. So that I think that's something they're deciding on. But yeah, I mean, in my ideal world, on my pink cloud, we would have a completely different format. We would have Last Hero Standing, players bring all 9 classes and have a proper pick and ban phase, like they have in CS:GO with maps or in Dota with heroes, and PGL did that for the Teventales. They had a best of 9 Last Hero of a best of 5 Last Hero Standing. And just pick and ban. Use pick and ban classes, and that's the best way to add depth to competitive Hearthstone, but it takes a while. So I can see
it's
that
not even
for
just
the
depth to competitive. It's just variety for me in terms of
as well.
viewer.
Yeah.
You know, like it's variety for viewer is where I think that you can get away with a lot if you just create a format that allows for that, right? So adds an hour. I mean, we're talking like a tournament that takes 24 hours anyways, right? Like, right? I mean, we're talking about multiple days, right? Like we're not talking about one day. We're talking multiple days. So
he was talking about like those qualifiers, those Swiss tournaments. So that's one day.
Swiss tournaments. Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, you could put a time limit on just how quickly you have to ban.
Well, I don't know.
So, yeah. Anyway, I believe it does. Like I'm not second guessing that it doesn't take longer. It definitely does take longer, like to do it.
Yeah.
It seems like it's worthwhile.
It does, yeah.
So yeah, in terms of like answering the question, I think that yeah, I mean it could, you know, going through those different formats I think could be interesting. I'd like them to just pick one standard format, which is fine, but have them play arena too, you know, and play. Oh. You know, like I'd go even more drastic than that. You know, just like if it is going to be about finding the best Hearthstone player, then make them play all the formats. Like respect the other formats as well, you know, and see, you know, see them play that. It would give more. It would definitely give more attention to those to those formats as well, and then people would spend more time playing those as well. So I feel like that benefits the game generally speaking too. So. Yeah, I'd like to see that. It's like a gauntlet, or at least somebody just do one event. To do one event, you know, it's like just one novelty event that's just like have them play through each one. It's like a mini Olympics, like Hearthstone Olympics or something like that, and see how they do. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question. Let's see. Oh, it looks like Gotrix has a question. It's Year of the Dragon, and somehow I have a feeling we won't see many dragons in the next expansion. Why? Year of the Mammoth had Mammoth, Beast, and Ungoro. Year of the Raven had Raven, Witchy Stuff, and Witchwood. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, did we... you have the Raven, had Raven? Well, I mean, Raven...
We had one Raven card, right? Like...
Which one?
Didn't we? Didn't we?
We had Messenger Crow. Is that the card?
Is Messenger Crow
the 4-mana 3/3 mage card that summons?
Was that Witchwood?
I don't know, man. But I mean, we didn't have Krakens in Kraken card. Like maybe I don't know. I don't think it's just they're just drafting fantasy beasts, right, and giving it a theme, and it's not something they're tuning their content after.
Yeah, Vextro is what it was. I think that the last avatar-looking symbol thing for the last expansion looks the most like a dragon. So I like it has fire and all stuff. I think that we'll see dragons in the last. Oh yeah. The last expansion. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch there. So,
could be. I don't know, man. It's yeah.
You might be right too. There might just not be any association with the actual year.
I think I love. I really like the themes they're doing each year and drafting, giving it like fantasy stuff. Like this is gonna be the year of, you know, like whatever. It's fun and it gives it a theme. But I also like that they're just, you know, doing. Here's the thing: if you're gonna make it a year of the dragon, right? Each expansion is gonna be around some dragons, maybe, you know, and if that's really what you're gunning for. And I think what they're doing now is. They're telling a story over the course of 3 expansions, right? First, Dalaran gets like hijacked by 5 evil guys, and the 4 guys are gonna save them, and that's one story. But within these stories, you can still have different themes, right? We've seen now mages kind of thing, like with Twin Spell. This one is gonna be all about the League of Explorers, and it's gonna be like this adventure again, and who knows what it's gonna end with, but you can still get to explore different themes, and I think. If you're gonna tune it after the year, like Year of the Dragon, you're gonna see dragons in every expansion. That's gonna be a bit repetitive, I guess. But I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, I think we'll see. I think that you know, I would hold some hope that there are going to be some more dragons coming out.
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I want to see more dragons.
Yeah, me too.
We sing Calicos, and Calicos is a cool dragon, you know, but. We can always get more dragons,
exactly.
Right?
We could always use a few more dragons. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's going to be it. I think we've kind of gone over a little bit, but great show, man. As always, Tom. It's always a pleasure having you
Oh
on
man,
talking
yeah, it's
Hearthstone.
been time flies.
Yeah,
We've
dude.
been here for an hour and 45 minutes.
I know.
It's
just so
yeah,
easy, and this is just the beginning of the expansion. Imagine what
yeah.
it's going to be like when some of the
It's gonna
cards
be
come
good.
out.
Yeah,
It's going to be fun.
yeah.
I can't wait. To be honest, I can't wait to watch Grandmasters right when the new cards come out. That's going to be super hype.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be beginning of August, right?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
the new expansion. So are they gonna play in Grandmasters? Because the thing is, we've already had week 5. We only have 3 more weeks of season 1, I think.
Okay.
Oh yeah, of course we are,
Yeah.
because there's 2 seasons. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
absolutely yeah.
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 Yeah, we still got a long ways to go, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
I think the finals this year is in BlizzCon. So yeah,
Are they? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Yeah,
I think
would make sense if it
that's what
ends
I've
in
heard.
like.
Yeah, they're bringing esports back to BlizzCon. Is what I think. I don't know. I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
think the word.
I think Overwatch League, they're bringing everywhere but BlizzCon, right? They're spreading it across all the countries, all the states.
It's always global. It's always the not a global games. I'm getting all these mixed up now. It's the World Cup. The World Cup is always at BlizzCon.
Yeah.
BlizzCon needs some esports, so I'm really happy that
Absolutely.
Hearthstone's bringing it back. Yeah. I feel like everybody at the same time decided to take it off of BlizzCon. So now BlizzCon is just like it's like,
hey,
show.
we're gonna
Like,
disappoint you with our announcements.
Yeah, oh gosh, oh, man, that's worse than last year, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be banned from an event again, but who cares?
All right. Well, anyways, you want to do some shout outs before we take off?
Not really. I want to thank you again for having me on. I do have one minor correction. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter is Matthiesen.
No, I did it, dude.
Yeah, it's okay, man. No worries. It's
I'll type
it's
it out.
for those people. I'll just write something in chat. Hey, and now that's also my Twitter account. So if you wanna follow me on Twitter, then that's you missed an I.
Missed an I. God, I am just terrible. Oh,
it's
man,
okay.
I apologize, dude. Sorry
you can follow Chris at ChanmanV.
I deserve that. Definitely follow me at ChanmanW. Yeah,
Chanman.
exactly. There you go. Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. But yeah, thanks again for having me. Minor shout out to if you want to follow my content. I write a lot about the auto chess games these days. But every now and then I squeeze out another Hearthstone piece. I should have one. I'm gonna have one coming out later this week. That's gonna rustle some feathers with people.
Really?
So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Spicy?
It's gonna be
spicy.
I think it's okay spicy. It's not gonna be leak level, like when I got the information about all the Grandmaster stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna be that level spicy, but it's gonna be some good Hearthstone esports content. I'll just say one word. It's Battlefy, nothing else. So it's
okay. I think
I'm gonna have some fun things surrounding that whole drama coming out.
Okay,
so look out for that if you want to. If not, then I don't know you, so I guess it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be. When does that come out again?
Tomorrow or the day after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow or the day
It's a pro. I'm gonna take it say Friday because I've got. All of a sudden, I've got an unexpectedly busy schedule tomorrow with a lot of stuff I have to arrange. But let's say Friday to be safe. By Friday, you'll have seen it. Yeah.
Okay, so Friday for sure.
Yeah. Let's just say. Okay.
I'll be on the.
I'll tag you.
Follow him and make sure you see it. Make sure you're.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Cool. Yeah, for sure. All right, just want to thank, obviously, Tom for being on the show, and all of you guys for watching, of course. You can find the show, if you missed any of it, on youtube.com/ChanmanV, where all the VODs for Value Town is. Be sure to subscribe there as well as follow this channel, too, if you haven't already followed the Twitch channel. And you can follow me also at ChanmanV or W, whatever you want to do. And you can do the show at ValueTownGG as well. But also, you can find the audios on all the major audio channels like iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud.com/ChanmanV, as well as Google Play. Just look up Value Town or look up Hearthstone, and you'll
You're everywhere, Chris. You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere. Yeah, we have to be everywhere these days, man.
Yeah, I know.
People won't find
totally...
us. Yeah. Yeah, sound is kind of low. Oh, okay. Well, I'll make sure to adjust that for the audios whenever I post them. But guys, that's going to be it for Value Town this week. So for myself, ChanmanV, and Tom Matthiesen, we'll see you next week, or we'll see you in 2 weeks.